thank you for giving me the opportunity to be part of the 2022 conference. I'm presenting on the topic Green Marketing Orientation and Sustainable Practice in Fast Food Vendors Management in Ghana. With me to do the presentation are Richard Markwe Mate, Patricia Kingsford Adentisi, George Dominic Kofimante, and then Lucy Eyram Abeite, and I'm Edward Markwe Mate. There has been a lot of research on green marketing practices, but very few of this has been on the fast food vending industry. It has come to note that customers are now interested in protecting the environment and are ready to buy food from vendors who are using the green strategies, no matter the price at which they could find the product on the market. We've also realized that the practices of the non-green fast food vendors are leading to a lot of environmental degradations, and as such, it is of interest for my team to spend much time and do a lot of research into green marketing and sustainability within the food vendor industry. As I said earlier on, year by year, customers are becoming aware of the dangers and then the damages that the food industry is putting on the environment. Some of them are excessive consumption of consumables or disposable materials, energy, and then water. And then there are instances where we have this carbon emissions being sent into the air. All this has a lot of issues in a negative way on the environment. Many of these fast food vendors are doing all their possible best to go into green marketing practices. But a lot of scholars too have found time to go into green marketing strategies. But very few have spent time on looking at how the green marketing practices affect customer decision making. We want to stress on this, but because this is the gap that we want to fill. The research available or the literature available concentrated on the green strategies, but we are trying to look at the same green strategies but in relation to customer decision making. Then we introduce another theory called the stress cognition theory. This theory looks at the relationship between people and the environment and its response in terms of emotions. So our study stands in a unique manner since we have tried to use another strategy and have introduced to you a theory that would help us with the understanding of how the external forces affect the adoption of green marketing. From a thorough research review, we were able to look at some variables for this study, and they are corporate social responsibilities, green marketing orientation, customer loyalty, and then green image. we sat back, we did a lot of reviewing, and we ended up with three different hypotheses. These are the hypotheses of our study. H1, corporate social responsibility is positively related to green marketing orientation. Hypothesis 2, marketing orientation contributes to loyalty. Then hypothesis 3, green image influences customer loyalty. These are the hypotheses the team spent much time on to look for whether the study will support our hypothesis or it will reject them. After a thorough reviewing of methodologies, this is what we agreed to do. We did 3 stages in our methodology. The first one has to do with measurement scale, which we adapted from literature. Then we looked at fast food vendors, how they comply with green standards. Then we chose 5 fast food vendors managers and then 5 academics who have rare experience in the field of green marketing. And then we gave them the opportunity to be interviewed using a semi-structured interview strategy. Then we went through all the queries that we had through the interview, and then we amended our questionnaires. So what I wanted to say here is we tested our questionnaires to find out whether they are reliable, and then those that were not able to meet the standard, we took them off. We used 40 questionnaires, and at the end of the day, our average variance expectancy and then the pre-test questionnaires, everything, covert, alpha, and the rest all proved that the questions were good enough for us to use them. This study took place from April 2021 to October 2021. These are the presentations of our analysis. We did the demographic profile of our respondents. From where we are, we realized that there were more females respondents than male. The females stood at 54.9%. Then the researchers went to 4 different fast food vendors. One is called Papaya, the other is KFC, then we have SFC, and then we have Mayday restaurants. They are all within the Greater Accra region. We use a purposive sampling technique to collect the data from our respondents. We use the purposive because we needed people who really understand what green marketing is all about, so that we could have the best of information to handle our research questions or the research hypothesis. We did some measurements. We measured the variables that we worked with. We have the corporate social responsibility, green marketing orientation, we had customer loyalty, and then we had image as well. The researchers use the Likert scale, where we have strongly agree as 5 and strongly disagree as 1. Then we use structured model to evaluate the fitness of the model, and then we measure the discriminant validity with the aid of the heterotrait monotrait ratio of correlation HTMT, and then we use the Dijkstra-Hensler's arrow PA to measure the fitness of the model. In so doing, these were our results, that is the analysis and results. The pre-tested questionnaires, there were no problem with them. We used the common method variance, the M, the C, MV, and to be sincere, the questionnaires were good enough for us to carry on our research. Then we measured again using the composite reliability, the CR, and then we came to the average variance extracted, average variance extracted, AVE, were also measured. Then all our PA values were also greater than 0.7, which shows that our data is reliable per the literature that we base on our study on Hensler's, Hubona, and Ray 2016. The HTMT is below 0.97, and this makes us to understand that the contrast that we are using for our study, they are valid and then they are reliable. Then we went on to test our hypothesis. With the testing of the hypothesis, we had a general model fit. The SRMR was 0.064 and the NFI is 0.752 and the RMS theta is 0.214, and this tells us that all the hypotheses were significant. I'm saying it again, all the hypotheses were significant. If you use the t-test, we realize that the hypothesis 1, that is the relationship between corporate social responsibility and then green marketing orientation, at 0.871, which is really strong, and it is supported that the hypothesis has what it takes to be confirmed that it has a positive relationship. Then we look at the second hypothesis, where we have the general, that's the green marketing orientation, and then customer loyalty. The T value is 0.833. This is also accepted as a positive relationship. Then the third hypothesis has to do with customer loyalty and then the image that goes with green marketing. Here again, the t-test value is 0.887, which also means here that there is a very strong relationship between customer loyalty and then green image. So in the nutshell, all the three hypotheses, H1, H2, were accepted after we have used strict research approaches. So we finally endorse that green marketing orientation has a link with customer image and customer loyalty. And then we realize that the CRS, that's the corporate social responsibility, always strengthens the corporate image. And as corporate images become well strengthened and strong, you end up increasing customer loyalty using the green marketing approach. So we were able to use literature to support our findings. And it helps us also to contribute to research by filling the research gaps. These are the few things that the researchers came together with as a means of contributing to the literature on green marketing. The very first one is the green tools can assist to drive and stand different from competitors. What we are trying to say here is that if you dwell much on the green tools or the green strategies, there is the possibility that you may stand different from your competitors. We are trying to say here that even though per prices, the restaurants using the green tool or green strategies are charging more, customers that are environment conscious are ready to buy. And the fact that they are using the green tools makes them different from the other firms who are not using it. This gives them a competitive advantage. Then we were able to add to literature that corporate social responsibility is a preceding element of green marketing. So green marketing has come to stay, but we should understand from our research perspective that it was preceded by corporate social responsibility, where companies realize that though it is not legal, but it is ethical to always protect the environment as a means of being corporate socially responsible. So it came ahead of green marketing. So some firms are practicing corporate social responsibilities, but they end up using the green marketing tools. This is what we want to establish. Then we were able to come out with a feasible model for management to achieve customer loyalty. The study proposed a model, and the model is so straight to understand that as customers become satisfied, or as you embark on segmentation and positioning using the green methods, customers become loyal because they get exactly what they came in for, and they have it at the back of the mind that all what they are doing ends up in protecting the environment. So these are the unique features that we have added to the study. And then we ended up saying that green marketing leads to market segmentation. Let's get this one clear. If a firm is doing green marketing, it may not automatically stop the other alternatives. So it means when you approach to buy or to enjoy the services of the restaurant, they will ask you, do you want the products that came through the green process or you want the other one? This makes us to look at customers from different segments, and we would all appreciate that in customer segmentation, when you give a customer what the customer desires, you are able to satisfy the customer's needs. And definitely, many of the satisfied customers will finally come back again and patronize your products. So we would really end our presentation here and be ready to answer some few questions if need be. So we'll be on standby and then take our questions as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity given me and my team to present to you a topic on green marketing and sustainable practices. Thank you so much.